Hey gang, you're here in my kitchen. Looking forward to sharing some recipes with you. It's one of the things we enjoy doing here on the weekends. It's kind of a decompression hobby for me, so I really I like cooking. It's become a real hobby and a passion for me outside of work, and something I really enjoy. My family's always gathered around the table and ate dinner together, so I want to continue that for my kids as well. And so looking forward to bringing you this easy one today. We're going to get into some more complex stuff as we go along here, but let's start out pretty easy. Today we're just going to do a one pot taco skillet. So we got some ground turkey. We're going to brown that up behind me here. And then we're going to add some veggies to this. So this is a little bit different take on some tacos. We've got some bell pepper, some onions, some jalapeno chopped up, even some carrots to go in this. So it really does give it a little bit of texture. You can obviously put on to some taco shells, which is how we like to eat it. We bake them in the oven, with the meat inside. Or it's always good. You can just take it as a dip almost, but with some tortilla chips and so forth. It's even something good that you can take to a party or a function because it's a quick little snack. So, and the recipe is a turkey recipe. So for those of you who may or may not care for ground beef, this is a good alternative as well, and we really like it. The kids tear this one up, and it's a way to get veggies into the kids without them really knowing. So let's take a look, and we'll start browning some meat. Basically, we're going to brown this turkey up now, and we'll get the other ingredients in a few minutes. So right now, we're just getting the last big bit of the big chunks broken up on this ground turkey. We're getting ready to add our veggies here in just a few minutes. Turkey's so lean that really doesn't even need drained, and what little water came out of that, we're just going to leave in there. We're going to put the lid on this once we get everything mixed in, and I've found that excess water underneath the lid actually helps to steam the veggies a little bit. We're going to, cook these veggies down for between 10 and 15 minutes. Really depends on your preference, right? I know at least we found we like the veggies a little softer, so we're definitely going to be closer to that 15-minute mark. But again, if you like your veggies to have a little more crunch or you want a little more texture, obviously you can go closer to that 10-minute mark or even less, depending on what type of crunch you'd like from your veggies. So that's a personal preference. I know the kids. I can speak for my kids. They eat the veggies a lot better when they're softer. Something about it, they just don't really care for that texture crunch. So again, we're gonna add our bell peppers and our onions to the skillet here. Mix this in really good. We're also going to add just a tad bit of olive oil just to get those kind of mixed in there. And then we're also going to add our spice mix right here, as I mentioned earlier. So we're just going to sprinkle that on top. And then just a dash of olive oil, just to give it some additional flavor there. So now we wait. We're going to lid this up. I'll spin this around for you. We're going to lid this up, as I said. Turn the heat down just a little bit to a medium low and let this simmer off for about 15 minutes or so. We'll come back and we'll wrap this thing up. We're also going to add just a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes. That really gives it a little bit of extra moisture in there as well. And that's the last ingredient that we're going to put in. Good thing I didn't forget that one, but you are going to use that can of diced tomatoes. Can't really see it because the lid is on and a little bit steamy, but this is one of those that just has some great color because of the veggies, and just really robust flavor as all those bell peppers kind of cook down and marry. All right, so we're coming up on time here. Just got a few minutes left with the lid on. I know I mentioned earlier I like to leave a lot of that water in to kind of steam those veggies up a little bit more. But one last step that I like to do, only because we like to eat them as tacos, I'm going to let some of that water evaporate off. Probably take about another 5 minutes or so. But at this point, your veggies should be nice and tender. And again, if you're going to eat it as a skillet, you're going to put some cheese on here now, put the lid back on and melt it over. You can leave some of that moisture in. But because we like to put those in shells, that moisture doesn't really bode well even when you bake the shells. While we do these videos, I'm going to kind of do some product reviews as well. Just some things that I like, or some gadgets. I'm a big kitchen gadget guy. So one of the things that I really, really like, I actually discovered this company for another kitchen gadget that I'll share with you at some point. They make the Therma pen, but it's ThermoWorks. So this is the thermostat timer. You can see it has four timers, and that's all it does. It's just a digital kitchen timer. But because we cook a lot here on the weekends, we do a lot of meal prepping. So we might be making, 3 or 4 days worth of meals here on a Sunday just to prepare for the week. And that ThermoWorks really comes in handy, or the thermostat really comes in handy because you can manage multiple things and you're not using oven timers and microwave timers and so forth. So really, I found that thing to be very valuable. You can check them out online, ThermoWorks. They also make what's called the Therma pen. That's probably the best instant read meat thermometer I've ever used, and use that a lot more for when we're grilling outside in the summertime to make sure that those pulled porks and briskets and things like that are getting to temp. Anyway, we're going to let this simmer off for a little bit longer. Again, to go back, you're going to eat it as a skillet, or you're going to take it somewhere. You want to sprinkle some cheese on this thing. I'll show it to you here. You're going to want to sprinkle some cheese on this thing. If you want to eat it as a taco, I would recommend leaving it, or leaving that water evaporate off just a little bit longer. Then you shell it up. We like to bake ours 350 degrees for about 7 or 8 minutes. Once you get the meat in the shells, I just use loaf pans that you would bake bread in. Those seem to hold, 3 or 4 shells really well. And then, once those are baked, then you can obviously put your other your cheese on individually, maybe some taco sauce or whatever you prefer, some sour cream, however you prefer to really finish this off. But nonetheless, we are finished up with our One Pot Taco Skillet. Hope you enjoy, and check back, because we're going to start doing some of this more consistently, and hopefully your family will enjoy some of the things that ours do.